Welcome back to Crime Chronicles. Today we take a look at how a once strong relationship with the Kinahan Cartel has now turned to a nightmare for a top Scottish firm. Stay tuned as we dive deep into these groups and find out that the Kinahan's links to Scotland run deeper than you may think. September of 2023 saw the Republic of Ireland's largest cocaine bust when the MV Matthew was intercepted off the coast of Cork. Authorities found a staggering 2,253 kilograms of the drug on board, worth an estimated $165 million. The ship had travelled from South America under a Panamanian flag and had deliberately manipulated its location to disguise its route and actual position. Gardaí questioned all 25 crew members and arrested 9 people shortly after the bust. The investigation soon linked the cocaine ship to the Kinahan Cartel, with large amounts of the product promised to the Scottish Mafia. Scotland has a real problem with illegal drugs, and Glasgow holds the unsettling record for the highest number of drug-related deaths in Europe. Drugs sold on Glasgow's streets bankroll the unbelievably lavish lifestyles of crime bosses in Spain and Dubai. Parasitic crime gangs have flooded some of the most deprived areas of Scotland's inner cities with drugs that kill record numbers of Scots and contaminate society with dirty money. For a number of years, the Kinahan Cartel have been supplying wholesale quantities of illegal drugs to the Lions crime family. The Lions are an organised crime group based in Glasgow. They have been involved in multiple criminal activities over the years, including drug trafficking, extortion and violence. Their activities have garnered significant media attention and law enforcement scrutiny. For over 20 years, the Lions have been feuding with another Glasgow-based crime group, the Daniel crime family. A feud that has seen many vicious knife, gun and machete attacks. The Lions and Daniel's feud is thought to have started after the Lions gang stole a drugs cache which was destined for their rivals in 2001. Links between the Kinahans and the Lions extend beyond mere drug supply, with leader Stephen Lyons being a close friend of Daniel Kinahan. Although the Kinahans are seen as an ally of the Lions, they have been careful to not be drawn into the Lions-Daniel feud. Daniel Kinahan's attempts to clean up his image and legitimise himself by becoming a boxing promoter saw him link up with a number of Scottish fighters. Scottish champion boxer Josh Taylor deleted a tweet praising fugitive gangster Daniel Kinahan hours after police warned boxing stars they were involved in a criminal network by associating with him. The Irish mobster had been hailed by light welterweight champ Taylor as a great advisor, and Kinahan had described the fighter as a very dear friend. Kinahan had helped mastermind the boxer's rise to the top of the sport, as well as also advising fellow Scottish boxer Lee McGregor and heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. The world of boxing has rapidly distanced itself from Kinahan since a European arrest warrant was issued for him, and a multi-million-dollar bounty was put on his head by the US government. US government business sanctions and travel restrictions have also put a stop to Daniel Kinahan's ability to promote Scottish boxers. The Kinahans have solidified their reputation as the leading brokers in the underworld, connecting drug suppliers in South America with buyers in Europe. Although they experienced a major disruption in their supply with the massive bust of the shipment off the Irish coast in 2023, they have still managed to supply large quantities to the mainland UK and Scotland. While suspicions point to the Scottish mob managing the European end of the operation, the Kinahan Cartel has other links to Scotland, with intriguing connections appearing upon investigation. At the core of the cartel's operations, according to an investigation funded by the European Union, are dozens of front companies that help move heroin, cocaine and other drugs, and launder the proceeds of their sales. The group followed the Mafia's example, setting up food businesses to move drugs and launder dirty money, and using real estate investments to hold illicit funds. Incorporation documents and other records show that Kinahan and his younger brother established Dubai companies to trade in food, clothing and textiles, as well as provide business services. The Kinahans also formed management and aviation consultancies in the Emirati free zones, areas with business-friendly tax policies. All were created with the help of UAE partners. Leaked records, obtained by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, describe previously unknown ties between MTK Global, Daniel Kinahan's company that promoted boxers around the world, and Dukashu Consultancy, a key Kinahan company that has been sanctioned by the US government. Records show that Sandra Vaughn, a Scottish businesswoman, is a one-time owner of MTK Global and a director of Dukashu Consultancy, which is also based in Dubai. The ties between Sandra Vaughn and the Kinahans might run deeper than business, with her ex-partner being former senior member of the cartel and convicted drug dealer Kevin Kelly. Sandra is now married to Danny Vaughn, an MTK boxing coach and strong supporter of Daniel Kinahan, having publicly stated that he was proud to be a very good friend of his. A Scottish vodka firm with links to the Kinahans has also been sanctioned by the United States government, banning it from trading in the USA. Nero Drinks Company Limited, based at a home address in Steps in Glasgow, has been named as a key asset of the Kinahan family's operations by investigators from the USA Treasury. The company, which produces Nero vodka, is owned directly or indirectly by Johnny Morrissey, a close pal and public supporter of gangster Daniel Kinahan. Morrissey, who was living on the Costa del Sol, launched the venture in 2020 with his wife Nicola. Johnny Morrissey was arrested in Spain late in 2022 on suspicion of laundering over 200 million euros in drugs money for the Kinahans. Morrissey has been held in a maximum security Spanish prison since he was arrested in Marbella, and state prosecutors have still not decided if and when he will be formally charged and when a trial will go ahead. The arrest of their biggest money launderer has created a huge headache for the Kinahans, as it has left them majorly exposed and cash poor. The only saving grace seems to be that Morrissey funneled some of the laundered money into cryptocurrencies, which may continue to fund the Kinahans. Perhaps the strongest link between the Scottish gang and the Kinahans has been the friendship between Stephen Lyons and Daniel Kinahan. Stephen Lyons had followed the Kinahans to Dubai after first heading to Spain, when a £200,000 bounty had been put on his head. He had already survived a couple of attempts on his life in the UK, so started running his gang from remote locations. It is unconfirmed if he is still in Dubai, as the amount of heat coming down on the Kinahans and those around them is forcing associates out of their orbit. An insider has said the Kinahans back the Lions, everybody knows that, but not anymore. They are pulling away from the Lions because of the Americans putting a massive bounty on their heads. They are backing off from a lot of people, and the Lions are among them, which could leave them exposed. And underworld sources say that could make life difficult for associates in Scotland, who've come to rely on the backing of their feared connections across the water. This lack of support means the Lions mob might run into a lot more trouble because they don't have their cover anymore. Things could start changing for them unless they can find someone else to back them. The source also said, "I don't think this will put the Kinahans out of action altogether, but they are slowing things down." For many years, the Scottish Mafia association with the Kinahans was a win-win situation. This has changed rapidly, with international pressure all but closing down the Kinahan criminal organisation. Lack of supply and reduced support has meant that the Kinahan connection with Scotland has become a burden, potentially leading to a period of chaos in the world of Scottish organised crime. Whenever there is a vacuum in the world of organised crime, there will always be other gangs rushing in to fill the void. I'm sure, about now, the Lions gang are regretting ever being involved with the Kinahan Cartel. Thank you for joining us today on Crime Chronicles. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more crazy stories from the world of crime.